Hello, Smarties, and welcome back to another episode of Smart Real Estate with Westcliff. I'm your host, Addy Saeed, and with me, as always, is Jaffer. Today, we're diving into the exciting world of large-scale development projects and the strategies that lead to their success.
Thanks, Addy. In this episode, we'll be exploring the full cycle of a large scale real estate development project. Everything from land acquisition to planning, construction, and finally selling or leasing up. We'll also touch on some of the key strategies that investors use to ensure that these projects are profitable.
Large-scale developments often involve building residential communities, mixed-use spaces, or commercial complexes. These projects can be incredibly rewarding, but they come with their own set of challenges. Today, we'll walk you through how successful developers approach these projects and ensure they stay on time, on budget, and profitable. So let's start with a brief overview of what large scale development involves. Essentially, it's the process of creating something big from scratch, whether that's a residential subdivision, commercial business park, or a mixed use complex. Developers typically start by acquiring raw land or an existing property with significant redevelopment potential.
And from there, it's about planning and executing a vision. A large scale project can take years to complete, from the initial feasibility studies and permits to the final phase of construction. This type of development involves not just real estate, but architecture, urban planning, and sometimes even political and community engagement.
Exactly. Large scale development success depends on understanding not just market demands, but also timing, regulatory requirements, and effective project management. The right team, careful budgeting, and thorough research are essential to navigating these challenges.
So let's take an example of a successful large scale development. Imagine a developer planning a new residential community in the outskirts of a growing city. The project spans 200 acres and will include a mix of single family homes, apartments, and retail spaces.
So the first step will be to acquire the land. The developer needs to conduct a thorough market analysis. What kind of housing is in demand? What are the local zoning restrictions? Is there upcoming infrastructure like highway or public transportation that will make the area more desirable? In this case, they purchased the land because they identified a growing demand for affordable housing in that area.
Once the land is secured, the next step is working with architects, urban planners, and local governments to design the community. The developer needs to have a balance between density with open space, ensuring there's room for parks, walking paths, and of course, local businesses. They also need to secure zoning changes to accommodate the mixed use nature of the development.
Now, construction begins. Managing a project of this scale requires careful oversight. Contractors need to be scheduled, materials need to be sourced at the right price, and deadlines need to be met. However, the developer uses a phased approach, completing the first section of the homes and retail space to begin generating income while continuing to build out the rest of the development.
Phase construction is a great way to maintain cash flow and reduce financial risk. By selling or leasing out the first homes and commercial spaces while continuing to build, the developer can reinvest the profits from the early phases back into the project.
Exactly. And the final step is marketing and selling the property. In this case, the developer launched an aggressive pre sale campaign to attract buyers before construction was even complete. By marketing the community as a desirable, affordable, and family friendly environment with plenty of green spaces and easy access to public transport, they're able to sell a majority of the homes before the final phase was even finished. So there you have it, an in depth look at the process behind a successful large scale development project. It's not just about building homes or office space. It's about planning, managing risk, and creating a vision that people want to buy into.
And if you're interested in learning more about how large scale developments work, or if you're thinking about getting involved in one yourself, make sure to subscribe to our podcast. You can find all of our podcasts and future episodes at www.westcliffam.com/listen.
And as always, if you have questions or need specific advice on a project, give us a call, 647-799-2264. We're here to help you navigate the complexities of real estate development.
Please remember this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always seek professional advice before making any investment decisions.